thank you for the people saying the Friday the Kid who uploaded this. Absolute legend. This is a clip taken from the Friday the Kid subreddit, and it features the one and only Will Sasso. Will Sasso had an update as to where he's been and what's been going on, and yeah, interesting answer as to, you know, the boys, the Bryan Callens and the Crystalias. This gives you a real good indication as to why Will Sasso hasn't been around those guys anymore. He was on THEO podcast, by the way. THEO podcast is absolutely smashing it, by the way. He's absolutely killing it. So yeah, Will Sasso, the legend. Let's hear what he has to say.
At the end of the show, it was well, first it was Brian and Chris. You remember those guys?
Yeah.
What are they up to? And then there was Chad Kulchin did it with me, and our good buddy Tommy Blacha, the funniest man in the world.
I think Theo's asking him about the 10-minute podcast,
and Tommy and I at least were always like,
Did y'all ever think about starting it back up? Was there ever a conversation to?
Yeah, you know, for a while, like a few years ago, yeah, Brian and Chris were like, maybe we want to do this again? And I was like, I don't know, maybe. And then, I don't know. I think they're both living in Costa Rica.
By the way, Will Sasso's the only person to come out of this smelling of roses. He distanced himself from Chris Lear and Bryan Callen rapidly. He actually had some molecule of morals, principles, backbone that he stood on. Like, nah, not with that. Fuck all that shit. Kept it moving. And hasn't been seen with those guys ever since. I still think the breaking point for Will Sasso was when COVID and lockdown happened. Because I think a lot of people, myself included, that's when I completely turned off Fire and the Kid completely. When those guys were going around performing during the peak of the pandemic, acting as if like they were fucking essential workers, catching COVID 4 million times, and just generally just being fucking annoying, talking about the virus every fucking single day, about the, you know, the restrictions and shit, complaining and whining. It drove me insane. It drove me insane. And then I think they had that argument with Will Sasso on the pod as well at the same time about it. And he was obviously clearly irritated, even though he was joking about it. And I think at the same time, then the cancellations happened and it sort of like, you know, went hand in hand. But I think Will Sasso was over those guys the moment all that pandemic lockdown, you know, comedy performance nonsense things was happening, where all these comedians were running around the country fighting for their right to perform on stage and do shitty jokes whilst people's grandmothers were literally dying and shit. You guys are like, no, I must perform. I'm, you know, Whitney Cummings and those kind of people are like, no, I must tell people about my pussy. I must get on stage, please.
Yeah, they definitely hit some snags.
Everything's gonna be fine. Look, be honest.
Yeah.
Let's be very transparent. Get out ahead of any issues you may have had, or don't.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't have the answers.
Yeah, I think a lot of that's hard to, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, that, yeah, that's all that's.
A good thing to say is, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, but anyway.
That's kind of their own journeys. Yeah, I mean, I think they both.
I love it, innit, with these comedians, isn't it? Like the lack of courage they all have is pretty interesting, which makes me think in general, the reason why they don't come out and essentially call each other out sometimes for like disgusting shit, like being accused of legitimately being a pedo, is because some of them must have some really crazy shit in their own closet that they don't want people to see. That's the only real excuse. Or maybe they just fundamentally don't have much of a moral compass. That might be one of it. Right? Stand-up comedy might attract that broken people. Who knows? But I think most of them have their own shit going on that they don't want anybody knowing about. So they'd rather not bring any light to it, but just keeping quiet, pretending it's not happening, and just keep on keeping on. Maybe.
VENTURA, you know, they've both dealt with, I mean, different side, you know, they've been through a lot of that.
Yeah. Suddenly, a comedian who gets paid to use his words cannot find the words.
Yeah, it's a lot. It sure is a lot.
A whole world of that is a lot.
Whenever I start,
it's not really a lot, is it? Your friend got accused of being a diddler. That's bad. If the allegations are true, that's disgusting. It's horrible. If it's false, I'm here for him. It's not too difficult, really, isn't it? To be honest, I don't know. It's kind of black and white.
Start to think about it, I immediately stop.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I go like, that's a lot. And
Yeah.
see, I'm stopping right now.
Yeah. Yeah, same, man.
Yeah, so that's your answer if you needed it. Will Sasso doesn't fuck with Chris D'Elia or Bryan Callen. Until the allegations get cleared up, he will not be seen with those guys ever again. And even if they do, he probably just over it anyway, by the looks of it. Which I don't blame him, because I actually like Will Sasso. I think he's fucking hilarious. That fucking Jesse Ventura fucking impersonation still gets me till this day. I'm actually going to play it here. Let's see if I can find it. Absolutely amazing. He's super funny. He's not even a stand-up, he's just a comedic actor. So the fact that he's that funny means that he's a legit. Oh, there's a new one. There's got him and THEO doing it. Okay, cool. There's a THEO one and there's a Callen one. Let's play the Callen one. The Callen one's fucking hilarious. From back in the day on Firing a Kid 5 years ago.
That's too much.
That's why the World Trade Center didn't fall over. They're like, it had to be detonated because that's the way it falls. Did it? Did they put charges in there? Is that what the CIA did, guys?
I don't know.
No, you can see. Or did they do that? Or did maybe
Come on,
Alex
let's
Jones
go.
has
Let's go.
Theory on the Mexico
Will
earthquake.
Sasso.
Make a fucking frogs gay.
Yeah. Did the CIA do that? Did they rig?
Explain Tower 7.
Yeah. They got the
Hillary's a lizard, and she took Tower 7 and put charges in it.
Yeah.
And they make the fucking frogs gay.
All right, take it easy, Alex.
Well, why don't you tell me why the Tower 7 fell on its own? If you're so, I'm here with a Navy SEAL. I'm here with I'm a Navy SEAL. I'm a Navy SEAL. I own 87 dogs, and all of them were trained by Nate. And when I was the governor of Minnesota, I had over 100 dogs. Now, what say you to that?
Well,
if you're such a patriot,
I don't know.
You know how the 9/11. You know what happened.
What's that have
on
to do with your
9/11.
dogs?
I guess you
Jesse?
must have been there.
I
guess you must have been there.
I wasn't.
And Nate would tell you that a Presa Canario, that 6 Presa Canarios could.
Don't say take down a building because that's not factual.
I was not going to say that.
Right.
I was going to say they could. 4 of them could take out a nuclear submarine.
That's not true.
We had them doing it in the Marines.
I don't know about that.
I was a Navy SEAL.
I know you were. You said
Now,
that.
I live in the Baja,
All right.
and I spend less than 6 months a year in the continental United States of America. I have 1,000 gallons of potable water. I
don't know what you're saying.
And I have a silo full of tortillas.
Okay, but what is the point of what is the point?
Well, why don't you tell me?
I don't know, man.
You tell me.
Why don't you tell me?
What the point
I'm trying
is,
to follow.
If you're such a patriot.
I am a patriot, but you know, just because
Yeah.
you have a silo full
Now
of what?
you want to show us pictures of shaven and shorn chimps, and you've never stepped in the arena of battle with a chimp, and when you do,
never said
you'll be thumbing your ass for sure. Because I have gone in hand-to-hand combat with many chimps.
You have?
Armed only with a polar bear femur, and that's something you don't know anything about.
I don't believe
because
you.
I'll be over there in Da Nang, and I'll be over there on the Ho Chi Minh Trail.
There are no chimps there.
And
There are no
I'll
chimps
take the
in-
chimps in with me while you're over here taking patty cake lessons
I'm not.
with your boxing
Vietnam War
coach.
is over,
The
and
Vietnam War
Well,
never
it
started.
what?
What?
What did you just say?
I said the Vietnam War started so that it could
it
never
never
end.
end.
So it can-
What did I never said that?
I don't know.
Why don't you tell me what I said?
I don't fucking know. I'm trying to
You
follow
tell
you,
me.
Jesse.
I'll tell you what I said.
What did you say?
I said the Vietnam War was started by chimpanzees.
That is factually
It's
incorrect. I
factually
can
true.
tell
What
you
would you know?
100% that's.
Why don't you tell me what
I
happened?
am telling you that
You
that's.
weren't there. Why?
I
I
don't have
watched
to be
Nixon
there.
sign an order.
So what did the chimps do? They started the war?
I wrestled Bob Backlund for 45 minutes in the Philadelphia Spectrum
Well, fine, but that doesn't
to a
make
draw.
It doesn't make
So
you
why
right.
don't you tell me how I
All
don't
right.
know?
You
Why
know
don't
what?
you tell me?
Get him out of here.
All right, fine, I'll leave. Bye-bye. I'm
God
going
damn,
back
that
to
guy's
Bob.
that guy's so hard to follow.
Oh, honestly, so fucking good.
I don't know, man. He's
Just
just
fuck Jesse Ventura just runs in here and fucks your podcast up.
yeah. He doesn't.
Get
He
some
just,
control.
It makes
This is
no sense.
Yeah, well, there's security here for a reason.
Well, he's huge. So what are you
Yeah,
gonna
he's
do?
a big guy, but
Yeah.
you know. All right, anyway.
All right.
so
Anyway, sorry about
fuck
that.
how big you are when you take the butt of a shotgun to the face.
You're going to drop to your knees, and that's something you've never felt, Bryan Callen.
what is he
And I
doing
know
in here?
a thing or
What is he
two.
doing
I've
in here again?
served with women in the Marines.
You said you were in the SEALs.
Right. I was in the Navy SEALs.
Okay, but you said the Marines. Just
Well, I did not say that. That's not what I said.
You just
I
said that.
I had a secret team of a dozen women and me.
I don't
and
think
we
so.
would go, yes, we would. And we went to Cambodia together. And then
What did you do in Cambodia?
we took out the enemy and then we had sex. We had sex. Have you ever had a 13-some?
I've never had a 13.
I have.
All right.
You're
well,
not a patriot if you haven't had a 13-some.
I don't think that's a
with
good measure.
12
for
Navy
patriots.
SEAls built like Linda Hamilton. And I'll tell you another thing.
What?
They sure did cock my shotgun that thing.
Okay,
And I gotta-
Jesse, you got to get out of here.
All right, I'll
We're
leave.
doing current events.
Fine. Bye-bye.
They sure did. Why don't you tell me? Why don't you tell me? Oh, that's fucking brilliant. I've actually not seen the one with him recently on Fear Ball. Let's see this one, the recent one. Oh my god! Why don't you tell me? Oh Jesus Christ!
Jesse Ventura on.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, I missed that.
Oh.
How was that? No. I did. I know that you did that. I did not check it out though. How was that?
It was a nightmare.
You got to like watch every word you say, right?
I mean, he talked for here it is right there. He talked for 1700 years. He talked for 1700 years to hours. Okay.
Yeah.
It was unbelievable. He's like, I drank 4 Locos. He just kept going off. He's like, I drink 4 Locos. I'll drink 6 Locos. I drink 4 times 6. I'll drink 24 Locos. And I love America, so I moved to Cuba, he said, or something. It was like,
He's in the Baja, I think.
Yeah, I don't even live in the continental United States anymore. Yeah, I'm in the Baja.
yeah, that's what he said.
Yeah. I'm down in the Baja now. I wouldn't vote for either of them.
Yeah, that was his whole thing, bro.
The two-party system is it's there in place to do what it does. We're all indoctrinated.
Yeah, he's like, I bought my American flag in China. I love this
But
country.
I went there myself to have it. It's the largest American flag in North America.
Yeah, he kept saying, I joined the Hell's Angels as well. I'm I'm part-time.
Yeah. I just wanted free tickets to Altamont to see the Stones. And, back then I was mostly following the Dead. And I said, I got to go see the Stones. I was this far from the guy who got stabbed in the face.
I asked him, I think I said hello. It was very just like barely anything out of the gate, and he just went. And he kept saying, I got to leave in about, I'm about to get out of here. And then he would stay for 45 more minutes.
That's awesome.
And I hate to bash on him, but he was, I can't tell if he was mentally just kind of getting out there, or if he was just had lost, or if he was just an egomaniac,
Yeah, I mean, he's lived so many fucking lives.
I know.
I've never had the opportunity to meet the guy, but anytime I watch him, on anything, I'm just like, I don't know that I can. It's one of those, you don't want to meet your heroes kind of thing, because he is out there. He'll go from.
But yeah, big up Will Sasso. Appreciate him. You can watch the entire clip yourself. It's 15 minutes of Will Sasso doing Jesse Ventura recently on the Fear of One podcast. Check it out if you haven't already.